Happy Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen, Allincrypto here, and welcome back, guys, for another jam-packed daily market update. This is indeed going to be a jam-packed one. A lot has taken place in the past 24 hours. We have news that today on the NASDAQ, we are going to get trading of a Hbar and Litecoin ETF, according to Canary Capital's CEO. So we are going to be looking at this. We'll be looking at what Eric Balanchunas and James Seyfarth have to say around this. We're also looking at the launch of a spot SOL ETF as well via Grayscale. A hell of a lot is taking place, and we are going to be covering all of it in this video. We're going to be looking at some price action. We're going to be talking about the number of banks that are adopting crypto as well, and it's pretty much all of the major ones. Where I want to start off, though, is with a bit of a macro context for markets. We did say that this week is going to be an interesting one because you have a hell of a lot of companies. In fact, the largest companies in the world have their earnings this week. On Tuesday, we saw the likes of PayPal, Booking Holidays, Mondelez, Visa, so on. I'd be interested just quickly, whilst I've got you guys, to see how PayPal did and if there was any kind of movement to it. Yep. So PayPal, in my opinion, is in phase one and is going to have a great uptrend ahead of it. Remember, Allincrypto said that. But we have got a hell of a lot of earnings today, the likes of Meta, so on and so forth. And we believe it's generally going to be a bullish in time for the S&P, which is going to see the crypto space do well. Despite the headlines, we've said this. And actually, we continue to get validated in it by the price action and what the price is doing. We think the S&P 500 is going to have a sensational end to the year based on the Fed's playbook and it only mirroring 2024 and 1998. And if you look at what they did with the cuts on the back end of the year, the S&P in 1998, I think, rallied like 30% in those few months. And it was like 18% in 2024. And I think a similar thing is going to play out this year. Now, that should ignite or certainly fuel the crypto space. And these earnings are going to essentially propel it, I think. And what I want to do, and the reason I bring up this is Q3's earnings, is because Larry Fink made some comments around their Q3 earnings and what the big trend is. And I'm actually away right now, as you can see, and going to host a panel on tokenization, the acceleration of it. And let me tell you, distributed ledger technology, and this is the opportunity here, is on the cusp of mass adoption in many different areas. Of course, financial instruments being one of them. But the world is literally going to run on DLTs. A lot of that is going to take place on public ones, some of the public DLTs that we talk about today. And the value opportunity here is you're early on that. And we don't want anybody to, it's very almost annoying that retail gets wiped out via the largest ever liquidation event in history, and then the market sort of goes where it's going. You'll get an epic rally after this. It will entirely engulf it. In fact, for some cryptos, this is already very much the case. We'll look at Hbar and others. That sends a signal. And that upsets me because, end of the day, this channel exists for retail. I'm sure we do have some larger viewers. But we want the little guy to make money, the everyday individual to make money off of this. And I believe that you can essentially work with the system, not against it. I'm talking about the money system via investing. And I think crypto is going to be the sort of fastest horse in that endeavor. So still a big week to come. Eric Balanchunas said something interesting here. Impossible, I was told by the columnist, to rotate out of the Mag 7 for the past 8 months because of US concerns. And there's always concerns with markets. This is why we're technical analysts. Ultimately, I did a meeting with my Patreons, and I spoke to you guys about it yesterday. I did a meeting with them on Sunday where we literally looked at stocks involved in these earnings and said they're going to have a good time. And we're literally getting that. And obviously, our overall thesis is the S&P 500 is now in a bull market. We've got a good end to the year, which is historically true based on the Fed's playbook. And technically, we've got literally setups everywhere, whether it's the IWM, literally on the cusp of going to $369, great number, from 250. The stars truly are aligned, and we've just got this great time ahead of us. And talking about Q3 earnings, Larry Fink actually over the past 24 hours gave his comments on their Q3 earnings. And of course, he talks about crypto and tokenization. Let's dive into this before we proceed with the video.
I do believe we're just at the beginning of the tokenization of all assets, from real estate to equities to bonds across the board. There's $4.1 trillion of money sitting globally in digital wallets. A lot of that money is outside the United States. If we could tokenize an ETF, digitize that ETF. We could have investors who are just beginning to, invest in markets through, let's say, crypto. They're investing in it, but now we could get them into the more traditional long-term retirement products. So we look at that as the next wave of opportunity for BlackRock over the next tens of years, as we start moving away from traditional financial assets by repotting them in a digital manner, and then having people stay in that digital ecosystem.
So to really put that in layman terms, what Think is essentially talking about there is using distributed ledgers to fundamentally transform markets and to change the world. And that is coming from the largest asset manager. Effectively, he has the largest pool of capital in the world. I mean, could it not be more obvious? And this is, again, the backdrop of all of this. What we're heading towards is retailers just got absolutely slaughtered via liquidations. And that makes me extremely sad. We've got some huge news here. Let's dive into this. This is from Eric Balanchunas. Confirmed the exchanges has just posted listing notice for Bitwise's Solana, Canary Litecoin, and Canary Hbar to launch tomorrow, and Grayscale Solana to convert the day after. Assuming there's not some last-minute SEC intervention, looks like this is going to happen. Ellen Turek gives a good scoop on this. New Canary Fund, Spot Hbar, and LTC Litecoin ETFs are now effective and will begin trading on the NASDAQ tomorrow, according to the CEO of Canary Capital, Steve. Litecoin and Hedera are the next two token ETFs to go effective after Ethereum, told me in a statement. We look forward to launching tomorrow. So this is happening today. This was put out yesterday. Then, as confirmed by Eric Balanchunas, the New York Stock Exchange has also certified 8A filings and posted listing notices for Bitwise Spot Sol ETF to launch tomorrow and Grayscale's G Sol to convert Wednesday. How is this possible during the government shutdown, you may ask? Well, the operations of law does not always actually require an open government. It's my understanding that the 8A filings are just as important as the S1s in getting these ETFs ready to launch tomorrow. A quick catch-up on the terminology. The 8A formally registered ETF shares under the 1934 Act for trading on the exchange, while the S1 registered them under the Securities Act of 1933. This morning, the New York Stock Exchange certified all 8A filings for ETFs above, aka the final steps before shares can start trading. But what about the SEC's staff needing to greenlight S1 registration statements? Here's the key. The issuers included language in their S1s that let them automatically go effective 20 days after filing. Typically, issuers delay S1s until the SEC takes them effective. But the legal default is the S1s goes automatically effective without the SEC intervention. That means the agency does not need to approve them manually, and the filings can go live on their own, even during a government shutdown. So, long story short, all the legal boxes are checked, and these ETFs are on track to launch. This is from James Seyfarth News. Yes, we expect Solana, Litecoin, and Hbar to get their first pure spot ETFs here in the US this week, as has been reported. But how did this happen? Almost certainly due to language, and we've just looked at that. This is huge news. You are seeing Hedera do very well on the back end of this, and we've said a broad uptrend for Hedera is coming. Hedera is my largest holding effectively, and it's for a reason. Our accumulation zone, along with my community, was down here. We are going to see the rest of this phase 2 play out and new all-time highs on the not too distant future. I think you're going to have a sensational end to the year. I think we get that from the macro backdrop. We also get that from technically how the crypto space is positioned. Remember, the total market excluding Bitcoin is literally on the cusp of price discovery and a march to $6.3 trillion or $6.4 trillion from 1.4 or 1.5. The stars truly are aligned. The bears are going to be wrong again. I mean, have they not been wrong multiple times already? And they're going to be wrong once again. And we did actually look at how this market was likely to recover. One of the things we looked at for Hbar Who did I use? Did I use Coinbase, perhaps? Was this. I mean, this is the largest liquidation ever event in history, and you've entirely engulfed it at this point. That was our target for it, and we gave it, and it's been achieved. It's an unbelievably bright future that we have ahead of us. There was some interesting thing. Chris, one of our kind of researchers, sent me over this morning, which was really interesting. Crypto adoption by institutions. Look at this. Bank of America, BlackRock, BNY Mellon, CBOE, Charles Schwab, Citi, CME, DBS Bank, Deutsche Bank, Deutsche Börse, Fidelity, Franklin Templeton, Goldman Sachs, HSBC, Interactive Brokers, JP Morgan Chase, London Stock Exchange, MasterCard, Morgan Stanley, Societe Generale, UBS, Visa, and Wells Fargo. I think I should probably just leave on that note and just say happy Tuesday. It's a great time to be in the cryptocurrency space. We're going to try and keep you on the straight and narrow as it relates to this space. A lot of bad information out there, a lot of bad actors that ultimately are just looking to make money off of you. We're transparent. We have a Patreon. It's a group of people that I care about and want to do well, and I share my portfolio with and regularly update. We have you guys that we love, and you do me all the sort of favors in the world by liking, commenting, and subscribing. And yeah, we want to win together, and you're going to get tired of winning. That's it from me, guys. I'm going to love and leave you. Thanks, everyone, for watching. I'll see you all in tomorrow's Daily Market Update.